Synchronised is staying on for pressure. 2 from home, the Giant Bolster moves to the lead in the Gold Cup from Time for Rupert. Long run, Burton Port can't go on, and down towards the last. It's the Giant Bolster who leads. Synchronised is coming home strongly with the white face for Tony Mackay, and Long Run jumps alongside as well. Synchronised, who was flat to the boards early, has fought his way to the front. Long Run battling on the far side, the Giant Bolster, but it's Synchronised who's come right from the back of the field to win a dramatic Betfred Cheltenham Gold Cup. Synchronised for AP McCoy, Jonjo O'Neill and JP McManus won the Gold Cup.
Synchronised, what a wonderful horse he was, full of stamina. Just loved a really, as long as they go hard up front, you knew he was going to finish well, didn't you? From an early stage, I know that you said to me off camera earlier that he's a bit of a terrier. Did you always think he would have the class for Gold Cup horse, or was it very much you thought we need to go Midlands National type races with him?
Oh, we never really thought he was a Gold Cup horse, to be honest. At any stage when he was hurling, it never even came into our mind. Like he was only like 16 hands, you know. Not that there's anything wrong with a handy horse. A lot of horses are only 16 hands, but he wasn't looked like a Gold Cup horse, as you might say, you know. And he was just okay as a hurler, really. But we then got to know him, and we found that he was a good stayer, you know. And he had his own system of jumping. You know, he wasn't an eye-catching jumper, as you might say. He'd just get from A to B, you know. But he knew what he was doing. He was very clever. And then when we got to the Midlands National, and he won that, and won the Welsh National, and you know, we knew he'd stay, and he had his own systems, and he just, again, over the years he got stronger, and you know, got more mature in himself, and he was such an honest horse. Like I remember one day he ran, and he was really tired, like after the race, really tired. And you could see it in his face, like, I've gave you everything, you know what I mean? He was a grand old horse, and there was a girl called Coral used to ride him out most of the time, and she knew him really well, and he'd always pull out in the morning. He'd be stiff and a bit, you know, sort of bit like us all as we get older, you know, and he'd walk around the yard and whatever, and you could see him loosening up, like, you know. And I'd say if there was a horse that I knew well or knew best, I think it was probably him, you know. Because some days we won't work him, you know. He's just not flying, as you might say, and we'll leave him. We'll work him again another day or whatever, and give him a week or 10 days or whatever. And you just knew when he was right, you know. And we were coming up to the Welsh National, and the ground was bottomless, and he had a lot of weight. I can't remember what it was, 11, 12 or what he had, but he had a lot of weight in top weight. And it was knee deep. And he was also at Leopardstown, you know. And we were going to go to the National, and last minute I said, I think we'd be better off going to Ireland, you know. So we went to Ireland, and the ground was much better, and it, obviously, rather than a handicap, it was, I forget the name of the race, actually.
Lexus, yeah.
Anyway, he went over there, and AP rode him, and he flew in. And I couldn't believe he won so well, like, you know. And he was in great form going, but he won so well. I thought, like, there was some nice horses in that, you know. So then I started thinking, well, you know, definitely have a go at the Gold Cup now after this, you know. And when he came back from there, he was quite sick, you know. He got some chill or something, and he just took ages and ages to get right. We were trying to go back for the Hennessy, and he just wasn't right. You know, he was one of those horses I knew he wasn't right, and we couldn't put our finger on it. And anyway, we're getting a bit closer and closer to Cheltenham. We're getting a little bit panicky now, like, because we're running out of time. And we took him away for a gallop. And we took a few other horses with us, and Connell rode him in the gallop, and we rode with a few other horses. AP rode something else, one of the young horses, and all the lads. There was about 8 or 10 of them in the gallop, and this fella came up behind, like, and he was a long way behind now. He was a good half a furlong behind them, and his ears were pricked, and I thought, he's just coming back to himself, this fella, you know. And he was pulled up, and I went up to see them coming back in, and I said to Carl, I said, how is he? He said, I think he's on his way back, you know. And I was thinking the same thing without saying anything, you know. I thought, well, not, you know, tight for time now coming up to Cheltenham anyway. We got him there anyway, and the rest is history, as the fella says, really. But after the race, you know, the week or so afterwards, he was absolutely bouncing. I've never seen it. He was like a flower blooming, you know. He was just, I thought, Aintree, here we come, you know. I was really excited about him, you know. And I wish I hadn't gone, but yeah, that was the way it goes.
Very much so. But the Gold Cup itself, we just talked through the race. It was an amazing one to watch, because the fact that AP gave him such a wonderful ride, and it was almost kind of at one stage I thought, well, there's no way that Synchronised can possibly come from that far back to win. And it was both remarkable for the sense we knew that AP had that in him to really stoke the fires of a horse like that. But the fact that Synchronised, who is such a wonderful hero over in the Midlands National, the Welsh National, then the Lexus, and then he finally goes and does it in the big one. It was just wonderful, wasn't it?
It was unbelievable. All I said to AP that day was, I said, if you can keep him close enough going out the second circuit, I said, you will definitely be coming home, because he's coming right sort of style, you know. And when he was going out onto the last circle, he was closer to them than I expected him to be honest. So I thought we were right chance now, like, you know. And knowing AP, knowing the horse, that everything was right, really. There was no one going to give in. So I was coming down the hill, I thought, we're going okay, you know. And as I say, he had his own little system of jumping, really. And once he was coming round, once he hit the rising ground, I knew we were going to be there or thereabouts. Like, you know, it was brilliant.
Well, he's left you with some wonderful memories.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. Great little horse he was.